All right, good folks. We are back in the saddle. Trying to get an update. Let's see what's going on. Hold on one second.
Headlines. PG&E is proactively shutting off power to customers living in 16 counties in Northern California.
All right, so they're doing a California update. We're only interested in the Cayman Islands and the Caribbean right now. Come on, USA. We're trying to see if we can get what would be the equivalent of their 8 p.m. Storm update here in a second. But in the meantime, let's check in with Quincy Brown, who happens to be in Jamaica. And Quincy's going to give us a little bit of an update of what's going on there, because he's, I think, in Kingston, in St. Andrew area. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Emma. Wee Wee's here. Christine, thank you guys so much. So we're going to see what's going on. Senor Quincy, we're live now. All right. So we're going to just do a little check-in in terms of what is happening. So good morning, good afternoon. Sorry, I just pulling my link to send to everyone. I don't know what Zoom meeting you had, honey. I don't know. All right, so all right. Okay, he's going to be joining us in a few minutes just to get an update on Jamaica. So hello, Christine. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just keeping an eye on the situation, see if we can get an update at the same time. 8 p.m. The next major update is going to be the 11 o'clock one. I don't know. Does the 8 p.m. one, do they actually go into the storm at 8 p.m. as well? Maybe. Yeah, possible. Entirely possible. So thunderstorm Grace is making her presence be known across the Caribbean, including Jamaica right now. And we are monitoring that situation. So let's see here. All right. So lots of weather things going on in the US at the moment. Isn't it amazing that they can literally have the Weather Channel that covers weather 24/7? They have so much in the way of interesting programming. We're waiting for them to get to the tropics though, because that's all that we're interested in. But I must tell you, sometimes I sit there and I watch the Weather Channel. I'm like, wow, there's so much weather around the world to talk about. It's quite unbelievable. So how are you guys feeling? Everybody got all your supplies ready and set to go? I see a particular customer here who needs my help. Watch me and this customer now. Okay. Let's see what's going on, folks. Let's see what's going on. So in case you missed the messages earlier, we did get a message from the premier, and we got one from Mr. Okay, so 11 p.m. advisory. Oh, that's the next advisory. I thought we were going to get something right now. So we got one from the Minister of Tourism and Transport as well. So those are the two that we've received. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So Christine says, be safe, Jamaica. Be safe, Cayman. Yep. We have our supplies. Petro's got rum. Lots of rum. Now it's up to 60 miles per hour. Did we just miss an update? Wow. Quincy. Hello.
Hello.
How
I'm
are
doing
you?
very well. Hi. I want to say good evening to Sandy Hill, and by extension, good evening to all your listeners and viewers.
Yes, thank you so much. What's going on?
Staying dry,
Yeah,
staying safe, and staying indoors. Uh,
staying indoors. So tell
Unfortunately,
us what part of
I
you're
have
in Kingston,
flu-like
right?
symptoms. Perhaps you can detect in the sound. Well, I am. If you're detecting a bit, if I'm sounding a bit nasal, it's because I have the flu. But I'd rather have the flu than COVID-19. So I'm having a bit of sore throat and nasal congestion, but I'm staying inside, trying not to get wet. I am actually coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica.
Nice. All right, Quincy. Tell us what the weather conditions are like there presently.
It's now about 4 minutes away from the 7 o'clock hour, and at this time, you're experiencing somewhat of a lull. It's not too windy at this time, and it's just a drizzle. But I would say from about 8:30, quarter to 9 this morning, we've been having heavy torrential downpour of rain, high gusts of wind. We've been having gusty winds flaring up. Even though I'm safe where I'm reporting from, I could hear in the background someone's zinc roof being ripped off. But again, that was not immediately here, but close enough that I could actually hear it. Lots of rain, as I said, but I'm generally safe in the St. Andrew area where I'm reporting from, and in other areas of Jamaica. There are a lot of pictures online with road erosion, flooding, landslides, and even vehicles getting stuck in high levels of rainwater. I have not heard of any deaths. I'm safe in saying that those on the northern side of Jamaica, the northern eastern side, would be feeling more of the brunt of it. As you are aware, Kingston is more south. So to recap, lots of rain, lots of breeze. I was able to do 3 live reports on Facebook Live today. And I also want to thank Dervin Malcolm from Power 106 FM's Both Sides of the Story, who also kept Jamaicans informed with weather conditions, but also Caymanians, as
Mhm.
Caymanians in the Cayman Islands do tune in to Dervin Malcolm's show on Power 106. So that's where we are at this very moment, Sandy. Any other questions?
Um, I mean, I'm hearing that it's now up to 60 miles per hour. We're actually waiting on a little bit more of an update, but I just wanted to share what we do know at this particular point with our viewers. So let me just pull this up.
Yes.
So yes, I mean it is intensifying, which is precisely what we were told earlier to expect. The
Mm.
shelters have been open now for going into 2 hours, folks. So make sure that you get out and about. So let me just show our viewers what we're looking at. So here we go. Right. So this is the latest, and essentially what we have here is Tropical Storm Grace. Um, this is, let me just see what time. This is 5 p.m. I feel like there should be an update since then. But anyway, they sent in the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, and observations indicate that the center of Grace has been moving over Jamaica. The aircraft and scatter meter data indicate that the maximum sustained winds, this one says 45. I feel like this is a little bit dated. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure that I have the latest link, because we always want to ensure that we are dealing with the latest information.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
you
this
will
is
have,
this is the 8 p.m. advisory. So I think that one is old. So maximum sustained winds now, as you can see from that diagram, is actually 60 miles per hour. Movement west at 15 miles per hour. So it's continuing that current trajectory, which means
mm.
that, as you can see from the little cone right there, that's us. That's us highlighted in the pink area.
So it
Um,
just goes to show, though, Sandy, if I may interject very quickly, it just goes to show how these storms sort of have a mind of their own, because 24 hours ago, it was projected that Cayman Brac and Little Cayman would, in fact, be getting the brunt of Tropical Storm Grace. But as is projected now, Grand Cayman is in for a lot of rain and wind.
hmm.
Hmm. It's sort of tilted more south. And I'm also hearing that at some point it is forecast that Tropical Storm Grace could become a Category 1 hurricane. That's not confirmed. I am not a meteorologist. I do my best to listen to persons like John Tibbetts, from the
Mhm.
National Weather Service in Cayman. I also think persons like Andrew Harris on K Compass has been doing a great job. Of course, yourself, Sandy, keeping us updated. And Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman has been doing a sterling job at giving the updates. So I want to remind all of your listeners and viewers, Sandy, to dismiss the fake information because not everything we read and see on the internet is actually accurate. So
Mhm.
listen to the National Weather Service, John Tibbetts, listen to National Hazard Management, listen to Sandy Hill, listen to Andrew Harris, listen to all of the information coming from GIS and also Radio Cayman for the latest in information. So you're thinking, Sandy, as I'm thinking, we could potentially see a Category 1 coming soon?
Yeah, I mean, from what I am seeing, I don't know if by the time that it reaches us in the early morning hours, if it will intensify quite to that level yet, but definitely as it heads to the Yucatan Peninsula, I think that that's precisely what is going to happen. I
Mm,
think, as Mr. Tibbetts indicated earlier, and all of the tracks are kind of showing that what may essentially happen is we will start to feel some of the gusts, which could be gusting up to, cat one. Let me just turn on my light here, folks. There we
mm,
go. That's much better. um, so yeah, I think it's entirely possible that we'll start getting some gusts that are a little bit closer
mm.
to hurricane force winds. So just let's remind people what constitutes a depression, a tropical storm, and a hurricane. So depression is anything. A tropical depression is anything where the wind speed is less than 39 miles per hour. Tropical storm, which is where it's currently at, is wind speeds between 39 miles per hour and 73 miles per hour. And then it becomes a hurricane at 74 miles per hour up to 110 miles per hour. And then anything above 110 is considered a major hurricane. So, it says here on the National Hurricane Center's website that tropical cyclone forecast tracks can be in error. So there's always that forecast cone of
Mm,
uncertainty, which,
mm.
that's why they kind of give you a trajectory and then they give you multiple forecasts. That's what that cone is all about. Um,
Yes.
so that forecast
And
uncertainty, sorry,
as
um,
as no
just
no
to
no need
clarify,
to be. Let me let you conclude your sentence there. I apologize for
yeah, so
interrupting.
just to clarify that the forecast uncertainty is conveyed by the track forecast cone, and anything in the solid white and stippled white areas in the graphic. The solid white areas depicts the track forecast uncertainty for days 1 to 3 of the forecast, and then the stripped area depicts uncertainty for kind of 4 to 5 days. And historical data indicate that the entire 5 day path of the center of the storm will remain within the cone. It's about 60 to 70% of the time. So that's kind of how they do it. To form the cone, a set of imaginary circles, this is the science behind it, are placed
Ah,
along the forecast track at the 12, 24, 36, 48, 72, 96, and 120 hour positions, and where the size of each circle is set so that it encloses 67% of the previous 5 years official forecast errors. So there's a little bit of science
mm.
to forecasting that's quite interesting. And then the cone is formed
Yes,
by
indeed.
smoothly
Yes,
connecting.
indeed.
Yes, so the actual cone is then formed
And
by smoothly connecting the areas swept out by the set of circles. In case you ever wondered how it was done.
and I think, well, no, I'm learning, Sandy. And as I listen to you, and as I listen to John Tibbetts and Andrew Harris, and persons who are doing this for a living, because I am no meteorologist by the stretch of the imagination. What I am a radio announcer. So if information is given to me,
Mhm.
I can read it. Uh, it's no time to be going by granny hearsay, which we as
Mhm.
Caymanians are good at. We granny say if you see the salt
Mhm.
crabs climbing up the wall, or the sea crabs crawling, bad weather coming, which a lot of truth, perhaps, a lot of perhaps a superstition entailed in these old time Canadian sayings and observations. But we have science, and the Cayman
Mhm.
Islands is now equipped with the right equipment to track. Now, as I'm speaking to you, Sandy, the rain is getting heavier once again. I've now been on with you
Yes.
for about 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And when we started, it was a drizzle. It's heavy again, and I can actually
Mhm.
hear through my
Mhm.
window the winds starting to gush once
Mhm.
again.
Now, did you do
Yes,
anything, Quincy, in preparation for the storm? I mean, it seems like there
yes.
wasn't a whole lot of notice, but what did you do to prepare?
So what I did was, I'm very thankful that I don't live very far away from a supermarket. I was able
Mhm.
to get not my water, not my agua, but my water, WATA. So I got my bottles of water, and that's the
Mhm.
brand of water, water. And I got my snacks, my tin foods, making sure batteries are charged. But the thing is, we have been very fortunate here in the St. Andrew
Mhm.
area that we haven't lost electricity. At about 10
Mm.
o'clock this morning, I thought we would have lost electricity because it kept dipping. It kept
Mhm.
dipping for 3 seconds and coming back on. And that happened quite a few times today in the St. Andrew area here. But we have had electricity right throughout the day. There's some parts
Mhm.
of Jamaica that cannot say the same tonight. There are
Mhm.
persons in Jamaica going to bed. Well, they won't sleep because they're wet. They've been awash, pun intended, awash with water, and they're wet tonight, and there's no electricity. I am very thankful that I'm
Mhm.
broadcasting from an area of St. Andrew where we have electricity. My roof is not leaking. I have a secured residence, not only secured from the storm, but secured from outsiders who we don't want to coming in. It's very secured where I
Mhm.
am. So I think that throughout the night, though, we're going to get more rain. And I got a report from Kim and Brack half an hour ago. It is drizzling on Kim and Brack in the State Bay
Mhm.
area and the West End. And in Grand Cayman, Georgetown, at about an hour ago, it had started to rain. And Savannah Newlands, I spoke with
Mhm.
someone there, and weather conditions were starting to get cloudy. So we're now
Mhm.
starting to see the change in weather. Obviously, you're in the Cayman Islands, I'm in Jamaica. As this system moves away from Jamaica and tracks on to a direction passing the Cayman Islands.
Yes. All right, folks. So tropical storm warning and hurricane watch are now in effect as of 4 p.m. So if you're watching the 4 p.m. show, you would know that. Tropical storm warning means that a tropical storm is expected within the next 36 hours, or in our case, in the next 12 hours. A hurricane watch means that the hurricane conditions can be expected within 48 hours. So there's also a flood and marine warning that's in effect. And given the forecasted intensity of Tropical Storm Grace, strengthening to a hurricane is likely to occur as the system moves west of the Cayman Islands, which is going to occur at about 3 a.m. on Wednesday, August 18th. Just happens to be my birthday, but there you have it. So
Oh,
we will continue.
Sandy, it's your birthday coming up.
I
I'm
know,
gonna have to
right?
sing you happy birthday.
Grace,
Well,
I
I gotta
know.
sing you happy birthday. I mean,
Grace wanted
all
to send you a
spontaneous.
special birthday present, child.
Can I sing you happy birthday, Sandy, with your permission, live
Yes,
on air?
sure. We'll get an early
Yes.
birthday greeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
why not?
this is what happens when you have Quincy Brown come on spontaneously. You just never know what can happen. So Sandy
Yes,
is celebrating a birthday tomorrow. A
yes.
happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to you. May you feel Jesus near every day of the year. A happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to you. And the best year you ever had. Happy
Aw, thank
birthday
you.
tomorrow, Sandy Hill.
Yes, yes. Early, I've been getting birthday sort of greetings and gifts and everything from days ago.
Nice.
So yes, that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. So this is fantastic. Thank you, Quincy. I'm glad that you're okay in
Thank
Jamaica.
God.
And Nat, who's joining us she's watching from Jamaica as well. She says no
Yes,
electricity in St. Thomas
she's
area.
correct. She's
Um,
correct. I forgot to mention that. She is
yeah.
absolutely correct. And also Portland. There is no electricity there as well. And landslides. Let me tell you, there are quite a few vehicles stuck in water tonight, either because people, well, I guess they had to go to work, others on the road, because we kept trying to send a message out today to Jamaicans. If you're not needed on the road, please stay
Mhm.
home, because there are a lot of unnecessary driving up and down, and of course, some people not turning on their lights. So the message is try and stay home, weather the storm, be safe. But unfortunately, there are persons in Jamaica tonight with no electricity and perhaps no roofs. But again, as I've reported here in the St. Andrew area,
Mhm.
I'm safe, I'm secured, I have a warm bed to lie on tonight, and I have electricity and Wi-Fi. So that's how we're able
Thankful.
to do this broadcast. Very thankful.
Beautiful.
Happy birthday, Sandy, and
Thank you
keep
so
doing
much.
what you're doing. Now, someone reached out to me. I won't call his name. A very popular DJ, not a
Mhm.
radio station DJ, but rather a DJ who plays in the clubs. And he says he's looking to me for information. Quincy, should we batten down? Quincy, how serious is this? I said,
Mhm.
first of all, relax, take a deep breath. You need to be listening to your you need to be listening to your Grand Cayman sources, such
Yes.
as Cayman Margold, such
Thank
as
you. I
John Tibbet
appreciate
from the
that.
Weather's Office, such as
Mhm.
Cayman Compass Online, such as Radio Cayman,
Mhm.
CIGTV. Listen to the official announcements. I don't think that this is going to be a Hurricane
Mhm.
Ivan or a Hurricane
Oh
Paloma,
no,
but
no,
be
no.
safe. But to
Yes.
see that people follow you after your many years of being on radio and they look to you for information, and I'm not the right person to ask because I'm not in Cayman. I'm in
Yeah.
Jamaica. So all in all, we will get through this. And let me
Mhm.
close by saying, Sandy, as my
Yes,
good
sir.
friend Dr. Amina Blackwood Meats once said, and I
Mhm.
say this to bring a bit of unity, the Cayman Islands and Jamaica are fingers of the same hand. Let us be blessed. Thanks for having me
Mhm.
on.
Thank you so much, Quincy. Really, really appreciate it. Stay safe, and we will continue to update you all. So, just as an FYI, in case you had not heard, the British Airways flight, which was scheduled to come in tomorrow, will actually, we just posted this on our website, will not be coming in tomorrow as scheduled. So, the August 18th flight has been delayed overnight. And of course, this is due to Tropical Storm Grace. And instead, the flight will be rescheduled. It will now depart from London Heathrow at 13:35 local time on August the 19th, arriving in Grand Cayman at 1800 hours local time on August the 19th. So check-in it will be open at 10:30 local time and close at 12:35 local time. So make sure, folks, that you are aware that British Airways will not be on island tomorrow after all. Okay. So again, we're under hurricane watch, tropical storm as well warning. And then we have CUC sending out a notification to its customers that the question that I'm sure they get the most often is, will we continue to supply power? And they say CUC will continue to supply power as long as possible. So this really just comes down to one of safety, and they will certainly keep it up as long as they can. When winds reach hurricane force, it will be necessary to shut down our North Sound power plant um, for the duration of the storm in the interest of public safety. So again, that's coming in there from Cayman Caribbean Utilities Company. We do have a video now from Mr. Andre Ebanks from West Bay, folks. So just like we shared the ones earlier from the Premier, the Honorable Premier, and also from the Honorable Kenneth Bryan. Let's see now what Mr. Andre Ebanks has to say.
Cayman, good day, West Bay and West Bay South. On behalf of my colleagues, Minister Bush, Parliamentary Secretary Ebanks Wilkes, Speaker Bush, we just want to ensure that those in West Bay are prepared for the incoming and passing storm of Tropical Storm Grace. The Cayman Islands is now under tropical storm warning. The Premier will be delivering a message of pertinent information. At this time, we ask for all residents, and particularly in West Bay, to take all necessary precautions and preparations. Look after yourselves, look after your families in a calm fashion. We will be updating you with information as we receive it through social media, WhatsApp, and other channels. Please look forward to updates as the storm passes through trusted media sources. We ask for all residents to take care of each other, take care of yourselves, stay off the road, but as much as possible, stay indoors and keep safe. God bless.
All right, so that's MP and Minister for Financial Services, I believe is his ministry, Mr. Andre Ebanks there representing West Bay. So we're going to get an update. I'm just watching the monitor to my right here. There will be an update on Grace here in a little bit. So I'm just waiting for that to come up. And then this is not going to be like a full live stream. This is just a mini one to see what's going on there. Ravina, thank you so much for the birthday greetings. Rush also sends birthday greetings. Michelle says her daughter also celebrates a birthday tomorrow. Her name is Ruth Ann. Well, Ruth Ann, happy birthday when it comes. Yes, child, we're going to be enjoying. Let's look at it this way. Look at how fortunate we are. We're going to be celebrating our birthday with everybody because most of us will be home. So in a way, we should feel so lucky, right? Thank you, Annette, for your prayer. She says there's flooding in Bull Bay area there in Jamaica. And again, Quincy, thank you so much for the birthday greetings and the song, the birthday song as well. Who was it that said they loved to? That was Desi, says, I love to hear Quincy singing. I love your voice. Beautiful. So no electricity in St. Thomas and other areas of Jamaica. Yes, we appreciate you, Quincy, joining in on the live stream. We all have interests, whether it's family or friends or others in some parts of Jamaica. So it's good to just touch bases with Quincy. He's there in Kingston, St. Andrew area, just to kind of see, you know, what's going on. So thank you for that, Quincy. Christine, blessings to you, my dear. So again, folks, we are looking at a storm that has increased slightly, now up to maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour. And that is according to the National Hurricane Center and the Central Pacific Hurricane Center. So we've gotten this from their website and it was just updated. So very, very interesting indeed. But as Quincy said, and even as Mr. John Tibbetts said earlier, storms have a reputation for being unpredictable at times. Like you can't always say exactly where, you know, a storm will be going, to be quite frank. It just has a mind of its own. And, you know, they have the forecast track. We've just seen kind of how they do that. But there is a degree of uncertainty with any forecasts. Yes. So absolutely. Okay. So yep, again, we've got several messages there coming out from the government. Mr. John Tibbetts himself has said that the key to all of this, folks, is for you all, meaning including myself, to just prepare as much as possible. They can't stress that enough. The shelters are open. If you are intending to go to the shelter, now is the time to do so. There's a lady who has lost a wallet, by the way, in the Foster's airport location. It contained her documents, such as her ID from Honduras and almost $500 CI in cash. It's a brown leather bag. If you see it, it was lost at the parking lot at the Foster supermarket in town, which would be the airport location. She sent this message at 5:54 and she said it was like an hour before that. So right around 5 o'clock. So please, if you see this bag, return it to the rightful owner. I'm sure that she'd be appreciative. And you know what would be even more fantastic? If it was returned with the money intact. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Balika, thank you so much. I need to message you, by the way. You're going to find something of interest that I want to share with you. So let's just get a quick view of while we're waiting on this to come up, of the video from, I think we have one from Mr. John Tibbetts as well. This would have been his last video. Let me just see where it's gone now. Let me see if I can pull this one up. Oh, looks like it didn't download that one properly. Okay, let me try to pull that one again. All right, just 1 second here. Let me try it again. Keeping an eye on the weather over to my right, so I can pull that feed in once that starts to do some local updates. Local meaning in the region. Oh, I see where this video went. Let me just try this. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Okay, here we go. I think this is going to be it. They always fool you with these commercials.
Trusted to give you every advantage before the storm. Trusted to be there where and when you need us. Trusted to work around the clock until every threat is over.
We're in it for the long haul.
Because America doesn't trust hurricane season to just anyone.
This Sunday, 4 new episodes of Jade Fever,
Yeah.
a race to meet a deadly.
I'm waiting for them. I keep waiting for them to like give us proper updates here. They're advertising all their different shows that they do. I think we should be getting an update on Grace here in a second. We'll give them a few more minutes and see what's going on. Yes. They seem to want to talk about everything but Grace. But you know how American news and weather is. If it's not directly impacting them, they give it a minimal amount of coverage. But we would certainly like to hear more. They're advertising some show called Jade Fever. No clue. Does anybody just randomly watch the Weather Channel outside of hurricane season? Do you guys actually enjoy watching it? I'm curious. Let's see. And I think they're going to come up with something with Haiti now.
This has been adding insult to injury.
Torrential flooding there is forcing the island's government to temporarily halt rescue and relief efforts. Those who have survived haven't had much shelter from those elements, many living in makeshift tents. And now Grace has brought torrential rain to Jamaica. This is Kingston. Look at this flowing water. It is just raging, flowing right through the streets, leaving some vehicles stranded, inundating neighborhoods. We'll bring out our hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knapp, again. I look at some of these images, Dr. Knapp, and think, gosh, all from a tropical storm.
Yeah, we often underestimate tropical storms and depressions for that matter because they are still loaded with moisture. They just don't have strong winds. And when they interact with mountainous terrain, whether it's a tropical depression currently over the Appalachians or a tropical storm over Jamaica, it's about the water so much of the time. Now, it's going to be more and more about the wind, though, because now we're up to 60 miles an hour on this latest intermediate public advisory, and we know that the center of circulation has just emerged off the western end of Jamaica. How do we know that for sure? We got the Air Force hurricane hunters out there. They took off from South Florida a little while ago and then have made 2 passes here. And this is dangerous nighttime flying because you're in the dark, so you're relying on your instruments, and you have the mountainous terrain of Jamaica, and you've got a tropical storm. It's always a bumpier ride. So they're flying at 5,000 feet just off the coast of Jamaica. And on a couple of occasions, both on the way south and back on the way north, got the winds of 60 miles an hour. So that's why Hurricane Center brought it up. And the upper level pattern, unfortunately, is getting more conducive for strengthening. You got high pressure over there, over the storm itself, and you got high pressure building in over the Gulf of Mexico in the wake of Fred. So there's just not going to be really strong winds here ahead of this as it moves westward. A little bit of land interaction with Yucatan. Otherwise, extremely warm waters lie ahead. So that's why the hurricane watch for the Cayman Islands, it could become a hurricane right on top of them tomorrow morning, and it is likely to become a hurricane before reaching Yucatan tomorrow night into Thursday. Hurricane force winds, storm surge for Cancun, Cozumel, the tropical storm force winds starting about 24 hours from now, and then 3 days from now, the weather will go downhill on mainland Mexico, and it could end up being stronger than what these forecast values show, because once it gets clear of land, rapid intensification is a distinct possibility. The main concern for the Gulf Coast of the U.S. with departing Fred and Grace passing by to the south will be an angry Gulf of Mexico. So, Jackie, we're going to have a high risk of rip currents all the way through the rest of this week and weekend from St. George Island, Florida, down to South Padre in Texas.
Yeah, and we may have that on the East Coast, too, from Henri, unfortunately. So both coasts of the country getting it. Well, let's head back here and check on the latest of what's what's happening in the Southwest right now.
All right, folks. So there's the latest update on Grace, 60 miles per hour, but dumping a lot of rain, as we can see on Jamaica. So again, this is a position for the Cayman Islands, hurricane watch. We might get some of those stronger winds, and we'll keep an eye on this. So the next update will be around 11 o'clock tonight, and we will certainly let you guys know what happens around then. So stay safe, folks. At this point, I hope that most of you are indoors if you're working. I know the grocery stores are open until 9:30. Hopefully you can get off the roadways as quickly as possible after that and head home to be safe with your families. Of course, right here on Cameron Mall Road, we will continue to keep all of you updated as best we can. Enjoy the next couple hours, and we'll be back.